Hey y'all, and good morning. So today we are going to be continuing on with our porch refresh. So this is part number 2, which has been long awaited, but we had a lot of little projects in between so we could work on the porches now. So we're going to be working on our front porch today, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a little pressure washing. So we're going to get everything cleaned off and get everything pressure washed. But let me show you the before and what we've already done. So this was the state of my porch. Kind of looks like a plant hoarder's dream. So we started off by getting all of our plants planted, and then I got some reinforcements, and my hubby helped me with the big bags of soil. So these big bags of soil I'm able to buy from our local little greenhouse, and it's called Daddy Pete's, and so far it's been really, really good, and I've really liked it, but the bags are like really, really heavy. So it was good to have that reinforcement to help me get these into the pot. So I'm always glad when somebody else can bring in some muscles and add that extra helping hand. So we're getting this put into our pot that we're going to be using for our fall gold raspberry. And I can't wait to get that one planted up for you guys and show you the process. And hopefully we'll have some fruit this year. I hope so, because I've heard that the fall gold raspberries are like really, really, really delicious. They're like really high in sugar. So then in the middle of doing all of our garden projects, we have been working on our hardwood floor and kitchen remodel. So as you can see here, the guys were taking up all of the damaged hardwood floors from the leak from our refrigerator, and they got them all put down, and now we're picking out the stain colors. So then I decided it would be the bright idea for me to refinish the kitchen cabinets. So here I am getting our kitchen cabinets all sanded down and getting ready to put new stain on them. Still haven't picked out the stain, but we're getting there. And then in the middle of all that, we're like, well, it's time for us to put down the mulch. So my daughter was so sweet, and she actually took over my channel for the day, and she went and got 60 bags of mulch, and we ended up putting down 54 bags of mulch in our new cottage garden and around our pool. So we have a little bit left to do around the pool, but we're almost finished. So then as we went on with our porch refresh, I added some fillers and some spillers into my gardenias, and then we just potted up some little plants that my daughter had picked up when she was at Lowe's. We have this beautiful yellow begonia by Monrovia, and then we have some other little plants that she just thought were really pretty, and we got those planted up on our front steps. So everything is doing good. Everything looks beautiful. So now it's time to continue on with the porch refresh. We also got some of our little seedlings planted up that we did get done from the winter sowing method. So I was always excited about that. Okay, so we are here on our front porch. And as you can already see, we have removed the rug that was there. So that rug we gotten back in, I think it was like 2017. And we used it in our house in Chesapeake. Then we took it with us to New Jersey, and then we decided to put it out here on the front porch. But it was actually an indoor rug, so it had just had it. So we went and took it to the dump. Miss Winnie. Okay, perfect. Maybe Winnie will be calmed down for a little bit so she can stay out here. Okay, so continuing on, so we got rid of the rug. And then the next thing that we did is my little secret. When I'm doing porch clean-offs, I love to just put the porch furniture inside of the house because it makes it like so much easier. So I put the porch furniture in here and a couple of pots and a rug. That way I don't have to lug them up and down the stairs. Now these are our little pots that we have on the little rolling coasters here. So we can just move those out of the way once we get ready to pressure wash this spot in here. So I just have a couple more other things to move off of the porch on this side. And then on this side here, we have a couple of plants here that we need to move. And then we have a couple of things over here that we need to move as well. And that is the screen for this window. We found it in the attic because as you know, we haven't lived in this house very long, so we're still kind of putting things together. But I do have a command strip on this window, so I'm going to have to remove it before I can put that screen back on. So we're going to put that up and put my little bulbs up and out of the way. And this is irrigation tubing for our back area. So just a couple more things to move, and then we'll get our pressure washer out and we'll start cleaning. I am going to continue moving all of our accessories that we have on our porch and get those moved into the house so we can just have a clean slate to work while we are doing the pressure washing. Super easy to bring them inside the house, and it just makes it easier for me so I don't have to lug everything up and down the steps, which you know how that can be. That can be a real pain. So I've almost got everything cleaned off, so we'll get started with everything else. Okay guys, so we got everything cleaned off. Our hose is ready to use. So I think this looks good. So let me go and get the pressure washer and get that set up. Okay y'all, so the struggle was real trying to get this little pressure washer up here. The cord kept getting tangled up and that kept getting tangled up, so it is up here now. So one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to connect the water. You always want to connect the water and have the water flowing before you turn it on, and this is electric, so I will do the water first.
Do ba 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 do do.
Y'all, I am literally out of breath and covered in water because, as per usual, you know how when you start a project and you think it's only going to take you just a couple of minutes? Well, I've already spent the minutes that I wanted to spend on this project on these hose. So I can't wait to get my Vego retractable hose because it is going to be so much better than putting up with the pain that I have been putting up with. So it first started off with this. So whenever you live in a coastal climate, you have salty air. So when you have a metal fitting on your hose and a metal fitting on your little sprayer here, it inevitably gets just weld together. So I couldn't get this off. Then I went around the side because you know there's never hoses where you need them, and had to pull this big hose around. Well, the thing about this hose is it's connected to another hose, and it's really, really slinky, and it wants to get in knots all over the place. So now I finally have gotten this hose up here, so now I am finally going to get it connected to this pressure washer. But I do have the water cut on because I didn't want to walk all the way around to cut the water back on. So I'm going to get wet again. So here we go. You can laugh at me later. So I'm going to try to cut the water off right here, but it never always fully wants to cut off. Luckily, this sprayer was not welded onto this hose. So I could get this one off. But now I have to get this on without making too big of a mess all over me. Okay, so we've got that on. Now we can plug it in. This plug is too big for this box. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this plug is too big for this box and it will not fit in there. So now I have to get an extension cord to plug this in. Okay. Okay, so I have the extension cord. Plug this in. Then plug this small end in. And then I want to put this cord up so it doesn't get in the water. So I'll put that right there. So now we can get this started. So let's see if everything works. We can toss this hose down. And I always pull the trigger first and then turn it on. Hallelujah, it works.
Oh my goodness, y'all. Do y'all have projects like that sometimes that you think, oh, I'm just going to take like 30 minutes to get this project done? Just lickety split. And then you get started and everything just turns out so bad. But you know what? You just have to be patient and you just have to be persistent and you just have to know, you know what? This is just the things that happen are the things that happen. And you just have to laugh at it.
Okay, guys, so another stop. We tripped a breaker. So I had to go into the garage and flip the breaker back over. And I'm really hot, so I got a popsicle. So I'm gonna take a little break, but we're almost finished with this part of the porch refresh, which I'm so excited about.
So one of my motivations to get my front porch cleaned up and beautiful is that my parents are coming for Mother's Day and for my dad's birthday.
Okay, let's roll this back in place so we can make a little room here. There we go. Now we just have this one little section left to go. Okay guys, so it's actually drying really fast because it's so hot out here. And it's actually not as humid today because it rained last night. But what I think I'm going to do now is move my little pots because my parents are coming to visit and I want them to be able to have access to the handrails. And so we'll move those and we'll get the steps washed next.
These front pots are attached to irrigation, so I am just taking the irrigation tube out and I'm going to turn that off while they're not in use. We're just placing these little pots up here on the porch and we're getting everything cleaned up nice and pretty.
Y'all, this is such a good little pressure washer by Ryobi, and this is just a little electric one and it does a great job. We've had gas ones before in the past and they stayed in the shop more than they stayed at the house, so this has been great to have this little electric one. So we've had it now, I think going on 2 years now. Okay, so let me show you what everything looks like. Now we do have some little stains here where we've had to patch the concrete, but it is looking a lot better and it's drying out right now. Okay, so going up, here is the right side of the porch. And then we'll go back around. And here is the left side of the porch. Now we can get all of our furniture back on it and put everything up.
My parents are coming up from Georgia this weekend to spend a couple of days with us. We are going to get to celebrate Mother's Day and my dad's birthday, so they fall on the same day this year. We got a lot of fun things planned. My dad is going to go metal detecting on the beach one day. Then we are going to go to Fort Macon to see the fort. And then on Sunday, we're going to go to church together and go to New Bern on a little trolley tour to go see all the historic homes. And then we also have a little special project that me and my dad are going to work on together. So I can't wait to share that with you guys.
Y'all, it is all finished. So of course the concrete's still drying, but we brought the chairs back out and we got those lint rolled because somebody likes to sit in them. Then we have our beautiful begonias here in this pot, sitting on a little stand. I do need to paint my little stand. This was from the Southern Living collection, so it is a little rusty, so it does need a little coat of paint on it. And then we have our little trio of pots up here. I think that looks really sweet. I do have to bring the mat back out, but I needed to vacuum it first. And I think I need to straighten up my pot here a little bit. It's crooked. So I will straighten that back up in our little trio here. And looking around this way, we have our faithful Georgia Bulldog. And I moved my little pot of chives over here on this old milk container. And then we have our green stalk here. And then we have our Supertunia Vista Bubblegums. They are just going for it. And I think on our next porch refresh, we're going to be getting a new rug for the right and the left side of the porch. And I am looking for maybe like a glider or maybe 2 more rocking chairs to go right here. I would like to have a porch swing, but I want to have something that can move with us when we have to move again. So I think it looks beautiful. Thank you guys for joining me today. I know these types of videos aren't very exciting, but they are very rewarding and satisfying. And it looks so much better to have that in the background than all that junk and mess everywhere. So I'm so excited about how everything looks, and I can't wait to be adding on to our porch as we get closer to summer. So thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you have a chance to get in your garden today. Bye, friends.